through the tournament with a new deck. When I'm trading, I'm beating everyone just like that. As a kid, I always stick to this trading card game, and that's why everyone knows my name. It started in the summer when I had nothing to do. I was bored out of my mind, I had no clue. I had a bunch of cards, I bought a couple more, and then I really started to score. I don't wanna waste my time, but I think that Entei EX might just be nice. I'll never stop just now, becoming even better than I was before. Oh wow. What's up YouTube, it's ZapdosTCG here, and in this episode we'll be checking out another EX. This time it's Entei EX. This one might not seem that impressive when you first look at it, just because the damage output is only 90 at best, but this card has a ton of HP and will definitely work in almost every fire deck, just because it has a retreat cost of 3, which means you can run a deck like with 4 heavy balls, Entei EXs, Reshiram EXs, and Ambor for your energy acceleration, just because all of those Pokemon have a retreat cost of 3 or more, and this means heavy ball will work extremely well because even Big Knight has a 3 retreat cost, and the downside is that it'll be really hard to get those fire Pokemon out of the active spot when you don't want them there, and that's why Darkrai EX will definitely work in this deck as well, just because you can attach all your fire energies manually during your turn thanks to the ability of Ambor, and then you only need to attach simple energy like Prism, Rainbow, or Darkness in order to retreat. So this deck will be really solid. The bad thing is that all of your Pokemon have a weakness to water, although it isn't that bad in my opinion, just because yeah, think about it. Zekrom EX Electric is the top deck of the format, and all the Pokemon are weak to fighting, so that doesn't really matter. And since water Pokemon aren't that good in our current format, like Kyurem EX is really bad, not many people play that, and then we have the new upcoming Kyogre EX, which isn't good at all. So yeah, fire Pokemon might just make a comeback with the next set. Now to the attacks of Entei. His first attack is called Fire Fang and deals 30 damage and burns your opponent's Pokemon as well for a fire and a colorless energy, which is just a decent attack, but not anything that special. So we'll go to the second attack, which is the main attack for Entei, and yeah, it deals 90 damage for an additional fire energy, and then you can attach fire energy from your discard pile to one of your bench Pokemon. And if you count an XP share, you'll be able to recycle all of your energies with this card. Just attack with Grand Flame and attach a fire energy to your Entei EX, regular Reshiram, or Reshiram EX on the bench, and then when Entei is knocked out, you can give another fire energy thanks to XP share, and then you'll just attach a manual energy during your next turn, DCE or a fire, and then you'll be able to attack straight away with 150 damage from Reshiram EX, or 120 with a Blue Flare, or even another Grand Flame. So it's a really nice combo like that, although the deck will be slow if you don't run Ambor, but you don't actually need Ambor at all, just because with XP share you'll be able to recycle your energies anyway. It's just sort of like the Terrakion decks at the moment, but we'll have to wait and see if this deck can be as interesting as the other decks. You can also experiment with Typhlosion Prime, Ninetales if you really want to, but I think that Ambor is better in this deck than Typhlosion in my opinion, because Typhlosion puts damage on your own Pokemon and Entei can be used instead of the Poké Power of Typhlosion anyway. And Ninetales will be really effective when you have the draw support on the bench. Just think about it, you have to have an Ambor on turn 2 maybe, you can just pull it off with the Poké Power of Ninetales to get yourself the XP shares or maybe the Rare Candy and Ambor. And yeah, that's it for this week's deck analysis of this episode. Just remember that fire decks aren't extinguished yet, we might see a comeback, or the future will be bright for those. With Entei EX maybe, we'll have to wait and find out. Anyway, now it's time for some Poké-News. We start off with some pre-release material. The pre-releases will be held in the weekends of April 28th and the 5th of May, so if you want to go to that, if there's one in your area, you should definitely go, because Dark Explorers will bring some neat looking playable cards in the format. And yeah, the pre-release card for this set will be Volcarona. It has the ability to increase the damage between turns if your opponent's Pokemon is burned, so this could work very nicely with the attack of Entei, the first one. And yeah, with that, the pre-releases will be underway, and we'll be getting a sweet looking deck box as well in the pre-release. So yeah, the next thing that's on my list is the 6th Japanese Black and White set. Yeah, you heard me right, there's a new Japanese set announced. It'll be called Freeze Bolt and Cold Flare, and that set will be released in Japan on July 13th, which will bring Fusion Kyurem cards, which means the Black Kyurem and White Kyurem, the main Pokemon from Black and White 2, will be brought in the card game pretty soon, although we'll probably have to wait about a year to get these, since the next set we'll be getting will be full of dragons. And the last thing on my list is a new scan of a card we'll be getting in Dark Explorers. It's Blizzy, and this card is pretty decent to be honest. It has 130 HP for a stage 1, which we can't complain about. It also has a neat ability that lets you flip a coin once during your turn. If heads, you can remove 30 damage from your active Pokemon. You can also deal 90 damage if you want to for 3 energies, or 2 energies if you count in a DCE, but then he deals 60 damage to himself. So this card could be nice as a tech card to test out, although it isn't that reliable since it has a coin flip and the ability. And that's it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, click the like button. You know I always appreciate that. And if you have any questions, thoughts, or epic new ideas, or some song ideas for the intros of my episodes, then the comment section is your place to be. And for those of you that haven't subscribed yet, I suggest you do, because I already pre-ordered my Dark Explorers booster box, and I'll be opening that one up somewhere around the release date. So look forward to that. Anyway, this was ZapdosTCG. Thanks for watching and have an awesome weekend.